At 16,000 feet in the Himalayas, Roopkund Lake sits in silence, shrouded in an air of mystery and isolation that few places on Earth can match. Surrounded by the icy, imposing peaks of Trisul and Nanda Devi, the lake is cradled in a remote, windswept valley, far from civilization. For most of the year, it's a frozen, unremarkable tarn, its surface locked in ice, untouched and undisturbed, until the summer thaw arrives and the snow begins to recede. As the ice recedes, the lake reveals its chilling secret. Hundreds of human skeletons scattered along the shoreline and beneath the water, their bones stark against the glacial stones. Skulls, femurs, and ribs, startlingly well preserved by the cold, emerge from the shallows, as if the past is reaching out to the present. Some of the skeletons still wear fragments of clothing and leather shoes, their garments faded but eerily intact after centuries in the ice. The sheer number is staggering, over 500 individuals, their bones lying where they fell, untouched by time or human hands. This isn't a burial ground but a mass death site, frozen in time. Who were these people, and what brought them to this desolate place? What disaster claimed them here, high in the mountains, so far from any village or known path? The questions linger in the thin, cold air, unanswered and echoing across the empty landscape. Roopkund is a snapshot of catastrophe, not a cemetery, a moment of disaster preserved by the elements. The mystery isn't just about who they were, but what happened in their final moments and why so many perished together in this unforgiving place. Each skeleton is a silent witness to a tragedy lost to history, their stories frozen in time and waiting to be uncovered. The lake's secret is as haunting as the landscape itself, a riddle written in bone and ice. Roopkund's story is only beginning to be uncovered, as scientists and explorers continue to search for answers beneath the shadow of the Himalayas. High in the Indian Himalayas, local legend tells of a powerful king, his beloved queen, and their grand entourage, all making a sacred pilgrimage to the revered shrine of Nanda Devi. This journey, steeped in devotion and tradition, was meant to honor the mountain goddess and seek her blessings for their kingdom. But the king's pride led him astray. He brought dancers, music, and revelry into the sacred mountains, disrupting the solemnity of the pilgrimage. The joyous celebration, meant to impress, instead deeply offended the goddess, who demanded humility and respect. In her fury, Nanda Devi unleashed a terrifying hailstorm upon the travelers. The sky darkened, and hailstones, some as large as cricket balls, rained down with deadly force, turning the pilgrimage into a desperate struggle for survival. The pilgrims, caught in the open and unable to find shelter, were battered mercilessly by the storm. Many perished where they stood, their journey ending in tragedy on the unforgiving slopes. For centuries, this haunting tale was passed down, offering an explanation for the hundreds of mysterious bones found at Roopkund Lake, high above the clouds. When modern science finally examined the remains, the legend gained eerie credibility. Many skulls bore deep, unhealed fractures on the crown, injuries consistent not with avalanche or weapons, but with massive hailstones striking from above. The hailstorm theory soon became the leading explanation, perfectly matching both the ancient folklore and the forensic evidence uncovered by researchers. It was a rare and fascinating case where science seemed to confirm myth, bridging the gap between ancient storytelling and modern investigation. For decades, the story felt complete, a royal pilgrimage destroyed by the wrath of nature, or perhaps the vengeance of a goddess. The mystery seemed solved. Yet, as researchers would soon discover, Roopkund's secrets ran even deeper, and the true story was far from over. The truth, when it finally emerged, would prove even stranger than the legend itself. For centuries, Roopkund's secret lay undisturbed, hidden beneath layers of snow and ice, shrouded in Himalayan mystery. That changed in 1942, when a forest ranger patrolling the remote slopes during World War II stumbled upon the lake's chilling secret. Alarmed by the discovery of so many skeletons, British authorities feared the worst, that these were the remains of a Japanese invasion force, lost in the mountains. Investigators braved the treacherous snowbound passes, expecting to find evidence of modern warfare. Guns, helmets, or uniforms. Instead, what they found were ancient artifacts, wooden bowls, leather slippers, and bamboo staves, items that clearly belonged to another era. The cold, thin air had preserved not just bones, but also clothing, hair, and even fragments of flesh, offering a haunting glimpse into the past. It soon became clear these were not soldiers, but travelers or pilgrims, journeying through the mountains long before the war. Roopkund transformed overnight from a suspected battlefield to an archaeological treasure trove, drawing scientists and historians from around the world. Yet, as more skeletons and artifacts emerged from the melting ice, the story only grew more complex and puzzling. Some relics seemed centuries apart, hinting that Roopkund's story spanned multiple generations. Roopkund was not the site of a single tragedy, but a place marked by repeated death and mystery, season after season. The simple explanation of lost pilgrims began to unravel, replaced by deeper questions. Roopkund was a graveyard for more than one group, its icy waters holding secrets from across the centuries. With every thaw, the mystery deepened, and the lake's silent witnesses continued to raise new questions for the world to ponder. Radiocarbon dating shattered the idea of a single disaster at Roopkund. The bones fell into two distinct groups, one from the 9th century, another from the early 19th. The older group fit the legend of a doomed pilgrimage, but a second, smaller group died 1,000 years later. Why did two separate tragedies occur at the same remote lake, centuries apart? Roopkund was no longer a single event, but a layered chronicle of death. The questions multiplied. Who were these people, and what drew them here? The lake's story was far more complex than anyone imagined. The 9th century group were South Asian pilgrims, likely on the Nanda Devi Rajjat pilgrimage. Genetic analysis showed they were a homogeneous group, probably from the same region. Artifacts, walking staves, leather footwear, painted a picture of a prepared but unlucky party. Skull fractures from above supported the Hailstorm legend. But the 19th century group was a shock. Their DNA traced to the eastern Mediterranean, specifically Crete and Greece. What were Mediterranean people doing at a Himalayan lake in the 1800s? Isotopic analysis showed their diet matched the Mediterranean, not India. They were culturally and geographically out of place. Their presence was a historical riddle with no clear answer. Roopkund's mystery had only deepened. The discovery of a 19th century Greek or Cretan group at Roopkund defied all logic. No records exist of such an expedition or trade route. Theories abound. Spies in the Great Game, lost religious cults, refugees, or adventurers. None fit the evidence, especially with both men and women in the group. They remain ghosts in the historical record, their purpose unknown. Unlike the 9th century pilgrims, these Mediterraneans are a profound anomaly. They appear, die, and vanish from history, leaving only bones and questions. Their story challenges our understanding of global movement. Roopkund's enigma is a reminder of how much history remains unwritten. The past still holds surprises that defy explanation. In 2026, new genomic analysis revealed a third, distinct individual at Roopkund. This genomic ghost traced their maternal ancestry to Southeast Asia, modern Vietnam, or Cambodia. Carbon dating placed them between the 12th and 15th centuries, between the other two groups. This person didn't belong to either known group and may have died alone. The discovery transformed Roopkund from a site of two tragedies to a crossroads of diverse peoples. Why did a Southeast Asian end up here, centuries before global travel was common? The lake's pull spanned continents and centuries. Roopkund's mystery now included a solitary traveler from a distant land. The story was bigger and stranger than anyone had guessed. Roopkund is now seen as a multi-ethnic, multi-century crossroads of human history. South Asians, Mediterraneans, and a Southeast Asian all met their end at this remote lake. For the 9th century group, pilgrimage explains their presence. For the others, the motive is lost to time. Was Roopkund on a forgotten trade route, or did it hold some special significance? Climate change is accelerating the lake's thaw, revealing more remains each year. Archaeologists race to study and preserve the site before it's lost to decay and tourism. Each new discovery could solve or complicate the mystery. Roopkund is a microcosm of global migration and tragedy. Its secrets are vanishing as quickly as they're revealed. The challenge is to learn all we can before the story disappears forever. Roopkund's enigma echoes other archaeological revelations worldwide. Melting ice and deep oceans are exposing perfectly preserved snapshots of lost history. In the Black Sea, shipwrecks from the Byzantine and Ottoman eras lie intact, like time capsules. These finds, like Roopkund skeletons, offer glimpses into forgotten lives and journeys. They remind us how incomplete our historical record truly is. Ordinary people, pilgrims, traders, sailors, left no written stories, but their remains endure. Roopkund's unresolved mystery is what makes it so compelling. It humbles us, showing how much the past still holds in secret. The lake is a symbol of all the hidden stories waiting to be found. Its skeletons are a quiet testament to the vast, undiscovered country of human history. As we close the chapter on Roopkund Lake, remember, the world is full of mysteries waiting to be unraveled. If you crave more true crime, historical enigmas, conspiracies, and suspenseful stories, hit that like button, drop your theories in the comments, and subscribe for more journeys into the unknown. Until next time, keep questioning the shadows.